and Estar on red, and we get those similar kind of bans across the board, targeted towards junglers, 3 out of 4 in fact. The Renekton there as well against ZS, and we're like, okay, cool. We're kind of rinse and repeating game 1 a little bit, but will we see those priority and solo lanes picked up first?
So we're seeing IG also take away the Thresh. This is something you always ban against Shiauc, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They take the Pantheon away from Hacker. I don't think Hacker actually looks that good on farming or carry junglers. That really isn't his forte. So I do want to see him pivot towards something like we talked about, the Sejuani, gank heavy, good teamfight front line, or something like the Lee Sin that we've seen for Baolan, and we've also seen Hacker play already, where he can be more lane focused rather than farming.
Are we going to get the jungler here, though, just to get the priority before Schwinn comes in? Because we've already got the Kai'Sa for Rat, so a bit of a pivot where last game we saw that Galio paired up with an immediate jungle, and this time around, Irma's still going to be pulling it out.
If this Galio pick, works as a flex pick, does very, very well into the mid lane as well as a global composition, and I think they're going to keep this for now on the board and just have that flexibility. I like what IG are doing right here. Camille is another one of those champions where I honestly feel like theShy just pick more of. He's great on this champion, and it's also a pick that can split push and team fight relatively well. It also gives you pick potential. I don't really understand why we don't see IG gravitating towards this a little bit more. However, they are going to give the opportunity to just pick Camille and Galio together towards Estar. So IG are very confident that they can deal with the Cannonball composition.
Oh, and even add Wink onto a hyper carry instead of this Misfortune. So they're saying, hey, we still got that global in the Pantheon, but let's add another element to Wink that might necessarily not look to just hard win out the lane.
IG's bet here is saying that, hey, we don't really care about your pick composition. We are going to take this matchup where we've seen theShy already destroy ZS in the lane in Gnar versus Camille. So we're willing to go ahead and let you pick that Camille. E-Stars, they think better of it, and they're just going to go for a more standard front-to-back composition. So we are going to be seeing a little bit more tankiness come out from the support position, and they probably lack a bit of damage in the jungle. So this is actually a decent draft where they have enough engage where they can just go back to the graves. However, IG have also read my play in terms of the ganking junglers coming out from Hacker, and they are going to take away the Lee Sin.
Get through this early game. Lee Sin gone first. Let's talk about other junglers as they come through. Team fighting composition for Estar, strict 5v5 Clement that teams like Top Esports have tried to draft in the past, and it's a conversation you and I had. But I bring that up because I was thinking, well, maybe does that mean Irma goes back to his power pick? But Estar actually banning away the strongest champion, technically, for both those mid laners.
Now, I do think they're signaling right now that they prefer to take up the Alistar here. The Galio is kind of just locked into mid lane, so they don't want to get rookie Syndra. Rookie Syndra is absolutely terrifying. I don't want to see that champion if I'm playing against them anytime soon. And Syndra Pantheon, they're thinking, okay, that's probably a little bit too much to handle right now. But just as I say this, they're actually going to be flashing the Orianna. So this is an interesting one. Syndra, of course, a very strong counter to the Orianna, a more lane-dominant counter. And that probably explains why they took away the Syndra as well.
Well, do you want to see something like the Zoe come through? I mean, Rookie plays a mean Zoe. Often it's taken as an option for this mid lane against Irma's Orianna.
Yeah, I don't mind the Zoe. I just don't think there's enough poke components necessarily to fill out the composition. It's a fine pick, but if you're looking at the enemy squad where a lot of your damage is going to be landing on Ornn and Galio, I don't actually like it that much. I actually prefer something like the Victor right here, where you can just kite back from the enemy composition. You don't have to play this super aggressively. You have disengage on Xayah already, and it is a good way of clear to match. However, there are IG. They have a bit of their own flair right here. They do want to keep the tempo up, and they are going to go for the Zoe. Not my favorite one, but it's something that Rookie is very comfortable and definitely very deadly on.
Yeah, so Rookie going to power, and then the bottom lane, the lovers reunite. Also note that Baolan, this is his world skin, so he better equip it alongside Wink to just show that prowess. Hacker waiting for a jungler, smiles on the face, and getting a closer look at him now. What does he want? Okay, the Hecarim. So we are still indexing Clement, it feels like, for that full 5-on-5 wombo.
Yeah, Estar is throwing a little bit of tools into their composition. We have seen this a lot. The Hecarim is basically a ball delivery system, gets to charge into the enemy composition, and he is unstoppable. When he goes in, you can land the ultimate super easily, follow up galore with the likes of the Ornn and also the Galio coming in. So this is a very stock and standard front to back combo composition. Really, really strong. I love this comp from E-Stars. On the other side from IG, they're playing more disengage. They do have the slow coming in from Gnar, the pushback that can come in with his ultimate, and just the range on Xayah and Zoe to kind of keep things a little bit more safe. However, in this meta and this time, I do favor E-Star's composition a little bit more. I do think it's easier to execute. Everyone just presses their buttons. And this is also a composition where E-Stars can try and just snowball the Drakes. This is something that they were known for back in 2020. So overall, I do think this Game 2 draft is a little bit different, but a little bit more E-Stars favored.
I also think that it sets up for someone like Rat, right? Because you've got Rat, who is great on these hyper carries, these late game 80 carries. You know, he's been playing a lot of Kai'Sa, Xayah, and this is a composition that can enable him, set him up for success, and get E-Stars into that state of mind. I'm curious about the change, though, Clement, because we set these teams up in very certain ways. IG want to keep winning these lanes. E-Star want to go towards that top lane, but we've got Control Mage through mid. We've got an Ornn to absorb the ranged pressure. I'm going to pick your brain as we go into this one because IG smacked him in 32 minutes and E-Star change up their strategy completely to run into Game 2. The LPL 2021 spring continues with IG back on this blue side. So, Clement, on that note, I'll wait for the gyos. Wait, was that Rookie and his girlfriend in like getting married? Like a
Wait a minute, is it? Did I miss the news?
Either that or it was the fan has obviously photoshopped themselves in. You know, fair enough, but someone had a poster of a Rookie and his girlfriend. I'm pretty sure they're not married. Anyway, that's probably not the right time or place. Let's move forward.
We don't really keep up with the drama that much in the LPL.
We should.
We should.
Drama. It's love, Clement. Drama is not love.
Yeah. Drama's more negative.
Love. Yeah.
Married buff is huge. Remember Doinby? He gets married, he proposes, instantly world champion.
This is why you're such a good caster as well, Clement. You got the wife buff too, brother. You know,
I can attest to that. Having a wife is very lit.
Hey, IG though, invading. Hacker gonna spot him out. 3 people over the wall immediately to flash onto him. The pony getting ignited first blood. Over to Shun and IG. So quick off the bat.
Oh, I love that play. That was so clever. It was a very late invade. 130, you go in, you stand in the brush beforehand, make sure there's no wards. They do get I believe a sweeper early on just to make sure they aren't spotted out. And they pick off Hacker before he can do anything. That's a massive buff right here, and Pantheon is incoming.
Oh, and you've even got the flash out of Rat. They go too far forward. Baolan engages, flexes his Worlds 2018 Championship skin. And now IG in such a good starting position. Shun going to have a vertical side on this jungle. And I was going to ask you to start explaining the comps, Clement. Of course, now for IG, everything changes when Xayah and Rakan have priority in this lane. As we can see, level 1, the duo is so strong. The damage down on Rat hurts so much. And Shiauc takes a bop out as well.
Yeah, but we do come in with the Deadly Plumage. You get extra attack speed on that one. Able to chase out Rat. And this is a lane we haven't really seen from IG for a very, very long time. But, you know, I would say Rakan is Baolan's best champion. He can engage very well on it. It's extremely fast, hard to dodge out. And it also gives him a large boost in the laning phase where he can kind of dictate the 2v2. Now, Irma is getting a piece of Shun here. Shun can walk up like this. He knows that Hacker is just farming his jungler. Hacker has to catch up at this point, so he can just go with these plays super aggressively.
You know what was super clean there? Rookie autos the minion to kill it so that the Paddle Star can get the full range and not get blocked out as well. Just little things like that make the difference. As Shun is coming down the bottom lane, and Rat and Shiauc. Rat's level 1, Clement. You're right. Gets the 3-hit proc, autos him a couple of times. The shield bashes out, and he gets popped. Shiauc engaged on, flashes away as well. The Gleaming Quill for the HP. And Rookie's roamed down. Shiauc's got a massive wave. It's getting wasted against the turret. And IG are destroying E-Star. Shun doesn't care that he goes down as Hacker now looking for Rookie. Gets the movement speed. Irma TP's down as well. But a double will change the fate. And at least E-Star have a trade on the board.
Yeah, that was huge for them. They at least get the shutdown coming in from Shun. He already had 3 kills right there, and it does look like Hacker is going to be able to equalize out the gold. He did lose his first buff, but with that massive shutdown, I think he's still back in the game. The biggest loser from all of this has to be Rat. Rat was under-leveled, his wave is almost completely gone, and Hacker, are you going to send this all back to IG?
He just walked into the mid lane. Hacker takes the trouble bubble at half health. Shielded Duran from Shiauc, who roams to the mid lane as well. A lot of proactivity between mid and bot to start this game off, and the action between these two has just been great to watch.
This has just been great series from IG. We really haven't seen them come out with these pre-planned level 1s. They're not a team that usually does this. They're actually very lax in terms of doing level 1 cheeses. They're usually the ones that just doing the 5-point spreads all the time. But to see that sort of ingenuity, I definitely think that IG's coaching staff has, taken up the whip or started opening some books here and there.
You keep saying the whip, Clement. You said theShy getting whipped, and there's a lot of whip talk.
Well, you try to explain why IG are suddenly playing so much smarter, okay?
Maybe, I don't know, bag of oranges, I don't know. It could be anything. You're right, though, taking out the whip. I want to interject here because the game has been really fast-paced to start us off. I want you to talk about how these comps move into the mid-game, how these early leads affect IG, and what can be done now that Shun is here, and that Hacker's trying to get the same early lead that he had.
Well, the biggest thing for IG is they have a lot of burst potential and just pick right here, but talking about that, Hacker is incoming. I don't think he's going to get much, though.
He's going to go under the turret, and you're right, Hacker doesn't get pulled back, he gets rooted down in the end, but continue your conversation, Clement, while you have a minute.
So if IG's composition gets ahead enough, they're able to burst out targets with Pantheon and the crowd control coming in from Zoe. It's going to be a very, very different game where E-Stars can't really set up anymore. Even their front line is going to get bursted down, and Shun's in a great position to make that a reality right here.
Yep,
Shiauc
do it again.
knocked up.
Shielded Duran, Ignite goes down, Shun just going to queue, and down he goes 4-0-1. 4-1-0, excuse me. An early game Pantheon, and Rookie's back in action. Rat still only level 4. Trouble Bubble doesn't connect, but that's enough damage to snipe. Dodged away from the Blade Caller as well. Thumbs are up because he's like, I did enough. But Rookie gets him anyway. Hacker comes back in, and IG's bottom lane are so far ahead.
Oh, the thumbs up for cyberbullying. Poor Rat. He's not getting to play this game whatsoever. And this is what I was talking about. If the composition on IG gets far ahead enough, they can just start sniping targets wherever they want to, and there's not much that E-Stars can do. E-Stars, they want to group up, they want to fight for Drakes, but there's a very high chance before they even get to group up, they're just going to get picked off by the members of Invictus Gaming.
Was the lane meant to go like this? Like, we know Irma can't have a strong level 1, but we've talked a lot about Halo Blade's Kai'Sa and what she does. Was this always meant to be the pace of winning lane in the bottom lane?
Xayah does win the lane against the Kai'Sa. She does have the push potential. She does have stronger level 1s, level 2s, especially with Rakan. But I think the main thing we have to take away is how the level 1 invade played out. First off, E-Stars did play for a push. They did have the Halo Blade, so they wanted that level 2 all-in.
Shiauc, what are you doing, brother? He's dead again. 0-3-1, and you walk up in this lane, you're just going to get punished.
There's not much they can do at this point. So, I think it's just how the level 1 played out, unfortunately. E-Stars, they wanted to make a gamble where they weren't going to leech. They wanted to push for level 2 in the lane. They got punished from it. Early flash blown out. And then Pantheon roams towards the mid lane as well. Yep. So I think this game has really been a highlight about how Shun can impact the map. I think he's done a great job. All of that action into the bottom side, leading to him having a great early game.
Agreed. Like this, he's going to get pushed back. The blast cone there and available. Sends Hacker away, and see you later, Pony, right in front of the Rift Herald as it spawns. And you're complimenting Shun in this game. You're complimenting IG. I wanted to ask you, how do E-Star stem the bleeding? They're 4,000 gold down at 8 minutes in the game. How do you get this to a point where you can team fight and get back some control?
So what we've seen with the Hecarim play is that it's actually very easy to just run down your lanes and get kills, and Hacker is still abreast in terms of the experience. So I think he has to be the difference maker here. I want to see him get some shutdown gold onto the bot lane, just try to go for some kills, and he is finding himself a skirmish in the top side.
That's reliant on Hacker. I'll track where he pass. At the very least, getting poked out by theShy, who's 2v1ing very comfortably. Herald's gone down as well. Shun just dove Irma. Oh my god. And You know, another answer I would have accepted, Clement, maybe going next. Jeez, theShy is going to dodge away. There isn't. You're right. Go to the next series. Have a good early night's sleep. As ZS getting pushed in, Hacker's still here. theShy's 30 CS. He doesn't care. Doesn't feel threatened by ZS and Hacker. The Call the Forge God was used to no extent. And IG are putting on a clinic against Estar. We might have a less than 1 hour series.
Yeah, this is going very, very poorly for Estars. In the top side, we actually saw ZS use his ultimate because he thought the Herald was going to be dropped top lane. The both of them were low health, and he actually used the Herald, Call of Forge God to wave clear, or else Hacker should have followed up on that. So I think we're going to get a replay of what happened mid lane. Irma ult does get Shun, but it's just not enough at this point. He's still able to walk away with the Triumph, healing him up. Mid lane tower is almost going to fall down, and they still have the Herald right there. They didn't actually drop it into the mid lane. They're just going to go for maximum punishment.
And Shun sees Hacker. Hacker runs away, of course, because it's a gore drinker Pantheon who you don't want to mess with. We'll wait for that Herald placement because that'll throw the gold into wider disarray. 5,000 right now, chat. 10 minutes into the game, and CS leads across the board naturally. Surprised that Wink doesn't have his first item after all the resources coming through, but he and Rookie will both be with Mythics, sure enough, soonly enough.
It's just so good to see IG not just trying to outmuscle people, but trying to outsmart them at the same time. This is the pinnacle IG play that we were waiting for so long, you know, for them just to wake up into the new split and just bring their brains to the game and just play like how normal teams try to play the game. It's great to see. And I do want to mention this is that IG, despite all of their postseason mess ups, they've been really good in the regular split. They've always been elite.
Okay. Yeah, you know, the postseason, just to reiterate, because I was figuring if the Shockwave lands, you know, maybe we see the hero's entrance. I think Shiauc wanted to get in, but they're losing their bottom lane in the meanwhile. And Clement, to hit on your point, you know, seeing IG in a clean state, at least for 50% of their games, is a good sign, you know. Because it was LNG, WE, both series losses. LNG was a 0-2 loss, which was surprising enough, but WE, game one looked clean from them as well as Irma. Run. Okay, Trouble connects, but no Paddle Star, and Rookie's just having fun.
Yeah, it does look like IG are going to be using this Herald to just fork and make a Drake play here. So Estars are not going to even get a chance to get into a 5v5. I'm still waiting on that onslaught of shadows from Hacker. He's really the only one that can salvage this situation.
Yeah.
He has a Sheen, so there's a lot of damage incoming. They're giving up a lot for this gank in the top side.
He's just... maybe he's AFK, Clement. I'd be upset too if I was in this game. There's another bit of CC connects. The Herald there having a great time too, and Baolan just shadowing. Another turret goes down before plating stops existing. In this second game.
Does dodge out on the boomerang.
theShy pressed B in front of his face. He knew Call the Forge God. That hits. That's great. His searing charge. theShy surviving for now against the turret. The damage flies. ZS doesn't die. Rookie's there with the flash, and that's salvaged as well. The fake flash from Rookie. He takes Ghost, and it's just going so wrong.
This series is Estars against theShy's KDA. That's what it is.
Dead. You know, peekaboo, it's Baolan. The Kai'Sa brings in a bit of artillery with the hero's entrance. And as that nuke comes down, it kind of makes the whoopee cushion fart noise. Shiauc's running away with the Justice Punch, and Estar lose another. It's 9-3. It's an 8k gold lead just about at 12 minutes in the game. And this is as solo queue as I've ever seen. Triple teleport. Let's go. Let's fight. Baolan doesn't have an ultimate. Grand entrance is the way, but onto Irma, he wants the shockwave, he flashes back into his team, and Irma's like, why did I follow the team, Clement? Double bad shockwave, Rookie from the side for the flanking angle, onto Irma, who gets nuked himself, but this time, it's like an atomic bomb. Double kill over to Shun, and IG with 11 kills, want to make it 12. Rookie on the chase, Shiauc's only level 6. Ignite down, Hacker back in. Rookie taking the onslaught of Shadow. Shun goes in at no HP, but still gets the kill. Rat takes one himself, though. Rookie comes back. The Paddle Star, that's a real nuke. Jumped right in his face, and Hacker will get the kills, but I don't think IG care.
IG are happy to take the 5v4 into the bot lane. They're going, bring it all on. Let's see what Estar has. And I just want to ask Estars at that point, what did theShy do to you guys? why do you want him dead all the time? Like, it's just they're throwing their bodies at theShy, just making sure he's gonna die. But at the meantime, it's not really worth it. They're giving so much away on their own team. Throughout that 5v4, even though they got a couple of kills, they're actually losing out on the gold lead. So let's just watch that again. This is basically round 2. Rat had already died following this play. They're not able to chase up onto Baolan, but it's okay. Everyone's still going to focus theShy. They want to make sure that man stays dead throughout the rest of this series. They do get the kill, but look at all of these blinking flash bars. And this is round 2 coming in from Estars, okay? It was a 5v4, and with the round 2, it was essentially a 6v4 that Estars played. They do trade off a lot of kills. They do get the 900 gold shut down, but at the end of the day, it's still not worth. Because look at the top side. Wink was getting free farm this entire time.
I also know the 6v4, I thought you're counting the blue buff, because the blue buff was having a great time just whacking like mad. I'm in there as well, boys. Don't count me out. You know that one friend you get
twice,
to a
okay?
fist.
That's why it's a 6v4.
you get into the fist fight, and there's that one guy that's like, I'll go in when you guys go in. And he starts throwing haymakers, and you're like, all right, brother, you're not really doing anything, but you're part of it, bro. IG, you know, after all said and done, they come away still with a hefty gold lead. You mentioned Rat hitting away, Wink hitting away on the turret in the top side. Rookie may have been caught out here. He's going to get double knock-up. He flies into the star, and ZS getting that kill is good. IG still want to stay here. Shockwave doesn't connect, though, and Shun is going to get called by Call the Fort God, which ZS misses. That was pretty atrocious, and IG still willing to fight.
Yep, so Estars throw everything at IG, even the kitchen sink. They only get 1 kill here, but Estars can go in for more.
Okay.
Hacker is pretty fast.
Sort of shadows, Blade Caller used as well. Shiauc just dead, though. Good combo here. As ZS launch into the wall on the side of the plane. Wink and Baolan are about to join this one. Onto the Ornn, who doesn't have the Bellows Breath available. He gets rooted up and throws a building. Estar still pull away. Turret goes down in the end. And it's only 16 minutes. There's no Baron available after that one.
And all of this just really snowballed from that cheesy level 1 that we saw from IG. The worst situation you can have when you have your jungler picked off is when you're also pushing the bottom lane. There's just nothing you can do. The best thing you can do is probably just hope the wave bounces back, but you know, IG were on that situation. Love that early roam from Shun to just make sure they got the flashes and the summoners, and then they follow up with a level 3 tower dive onto the bottom side. So this was just IG dialing up the early game shenanigans to 11, making sure they get maximum punishment out of Estars, who were coming in with a pretty slow game plan here and didn't really do their due diligence level 1 to make sure the invade wasn't coming.
And you said it's all on Hacker. At the very least, he has the kills. You know, for Estar to find some momentum, find anything in this 9,000 gold discrepancy, they rely on the next 20 minutes not being as chaotic. They rely on getting these core items and getting somewhere, while for IG, they're already way ahead of the curve. It's 2 items for Wink when Rat has not even 1. So you can see, sorry, you guys can't see this, but Wink is actually 3,500 gold of Rat this game.
The damage discrepancy coming in from the bot lane, absolutely massive. And now I'm curious on what Estars is going to do. We did mention that their team composition is a wombo combo. So a lot of times when you run this, you get the correct sequence of ultimates down. You can still come back from a pretty big deficit, but it is about the positioning. I think Hacker is going to have to attack from a flank. They can't do what they just did underneath their mid-second tower, where Hacker was basically cancel out by Xayah, and I wonder if Rat can... Oh, he does survive this one, but just barely.
He took a cue from Shun. And Rookie, even though he missed the paddle star, which would have been 1 hit with the Luden's Echo and the Sork shoes as well, he'll walk away. That's tempo lost once again, if there was any ever to talk about. Herald being put down on the bottom side, that'll break open an inhibitor turret, maybe even the inhibitor. And IG, if they find a pick off this, they can keep pushing.
Yeah, they know all the members of Estars where they are. Ornn does come in with the Ornn ultimate, but they don't find
entrance
backline.
as well. Clover, but Shiauc gets rooted up in place. The Blade Caller from Wink is just perfect. Low health bars, Onslaught of Shadows, dodged away from with ease. The Shockwave brings in the bottom lane, but Wink autos once, and Irma's HP bar is at half health. Rookie flashing forward. The Paddle Star blocked, and they're like, who should take the damage? Because no one's tanky enough. Shun comes in with his ulti, and IG have a man's advantage to try and end this game.
They're up already 10,000 gold, and we could be seeing a pre-20-minute game from Invictus Gaming. This is definitely a cause for celebration.
Well, they don't want to take it yet, Clement. At the very least, inhibitor broken, and they got more game time to play. It's like that team in solo queue that doesn't want to end the game. They're having too much fun. So they'll keep this one going, and at the very least, it feels like pre-30, no matter what happens from here on.
Definitely pre-30, but I want IG to keep their motto alive. Never any overtime for Invictus Gaming. I want to see them finish this series off really, really quickly. Yep. I hope it's going to be a pre-50 minute.
Well, looking pretty likely here, Mr. Chu. And, you know, we've seen an IG today that fit the description we gave to them in 2019, that fit the description of IG on a high. This feels like the best form, the form we saw against JDG. And they're being clinical here against Estar, not overstaying their welcome, bar maybe that one fight towards blue buff, but they're so far ahead they didn't have to care. Even I wish we could talk about the Colonel being 83% in favor. He's nodding his head and saying, well, you know, there's nothing that can go wrong here for Invictus Gaming. And as they hover towards his top side, setting up for a top side inhibitor at that, leaving theShy mid and waiting for Estar just to walk into their den.
Yeah, E-Stars aren't even going to try and defend their outer turret at this point. They're just waiting for the perfect angle to get a flank, a wombo combo, when IG do eventually push into the top side. Looking at their members right here, they are setting up. The most important member is Hacker. We've talked about this combination. It is using the unstoppable on Onslaught of Shadows to bring the ball into the mists of IG, and that's where you pull off your combo. IG are not going to give them the chance.
No, because you got to walk in, and to walk in, you got to sacrifice yourself potentially being hit by Rookie. And now onto the Baron. It's just spawned literally 40 seconds ago, and Invictus Gaming begin as Shiauc should not be here, dodges away from the paddle start, doesn't connect, Trouble Bubble as well. Estar are running in with theShy in Mega Gnar. They still want to contest, and IG paying some kind of respect.
IG actually losing out a lot of HP onto their backline, so this one's actually slightly in favor of E-Stars in terms of the overall health that they have on their team members right now, but someone has to go back and defend the base.
Yeah, because minions are coming in. It is ZS for now, who has opted in for the smite and teleport, so the potential to steal, but you're right, back onto the Baron now. Second time's a charm, and the minions almost taken down a Nexus turret. This time around, IG will get the Baron very comfortably at 21 minutes in the game. Gold at 12,000 in their lead.
This has to be the most one-sided game we've seen in 2021 so far. I can't remember any other game getting to this point at this minute mark. 21 minutes into the game, it almost feels like there's no coming back, no hope for the likes of E-Stars.
I feel like FPX OMG game 1 was kind of similar, as you're right. theShy's in Mega Gnar. Hacker walks back in. Was that trying to lose the game? I don't know. But he's going to survive thanks to Shiauc. Hero's entrance and Justice punches. No, give him the blast cone. Hacker leaves him out to dry and just runs away. Here comes the Pantheon ult, and it's Shun looking pretty hungry. He's a bit short, though, from Rat and Hacker, who still has his ghost up if he needs to, as Rat takes a Q and instantly regrets being there.
Kind of an interesting play from E-Stars. The rest of their members are still on the side lanes and in open vision, so that was just two-man escapade into the bottom side. Doesn't work out for them. And does Rookie find this?
Well,
almost.
Irma has to back away, but look, he has a fake flash clone at the very least. IG, meanwhile, are pushing down the mid lane, and ZS meant to be a tank. Doesn't matter to Wink. Going forward, theShy just autos him to death, and there's another one. Estar without their top laner for 30 seconds in the game. theShy ults them back into the team. Big Gnar ulti from the top laner of Invictus Gaming. Shun goes forward. Hacker does get a kill onto this Gnar, but the problem is Wink's still alive, gets ulted, Feather Storms fly, the Blade Caller at the ready. Troll Bubble dodged away from, but Wink flashing forward. Perfect fit for this Invictus Gaming roster, and a great series for Invictus Gaming to show us they still mean business in the LPL as they 2-0 the rising star in Estar.
Invictus